Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Tuesday. All right, guys, so as you know, tonight we have Anchor Watch at 11 p.m. Eastern. I've been saying that all day. And for all of our members, well, we posted a members only house tour from Hilton Head. So go definitely check that out. And we will be back for our members only live on Friday. Now, we're not back to talk about that. We're back to talk about the drama in Jersey because we know that Bethany Frankel is spearheading this whole reality reckoning movement. And Siggy Flicker did a podcast with All About the Real Housewives to speak on that a little bit. Plus, she threw Margaret under the bus. At least I think she thought she did. And I just wanted to talk about that because, well, I asked some questions. And Gina's catching a lot of heat right now for taking sides, I guess, when it comes to Teresa and Melissa. We're getting into all of it. So before we do all the YouTube things, smash that like button, show some love, and let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Okay, guys, so you remember when Siggy Flicker did this podcast interview with All About the Real Housewives, right? It's interesting because she keeps on slamming Margaret as this old woman and, just like this sort of like a devil on the show. And you could tell she clearly does not like Margaret Josephs. And she praises Teresa like I've never seen before. Well, she came back and she did another interview with them. And this is what was said. So, All About the Real Housewives posted former Real Housewives of New Jersey star Siggy Flicker is spilling the tea on the antics of the production team behind the New Jersey franchise. While appearing on All About the Real Housewives podcast, Siggy explains that there was drama between her and Margaret Josephs from day one and that it was all orchestrated by production. Like, we already have drama naturally brewing up. That's what Siggy said. And she was questioning why production felt like they needed to stir the pot. There was drama between me and Margaret from day one. I could take on Margaret. I could take on all of them. I could take on production. I, as a human being, cannot take on what they're going to do with the edit in the editing room. It's not fair. It's not fair to bombard me every day. I couldn't wait to run away from that show. She said I could not wait. Wow. She just wanted the Real Housewives of New Jersey production team to let her film her scenes and be done with it. Now, speaking of filming the scenes, they said Siggy Flicker revealed that production was behind so many scenes that happened on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, specifically during season 8, which is when Margaret Josephs joined the show. Turns out that one of the scenes that made the Real Housewives of New Jersey viewers initially fall in love with Margaret was staged by production. All right, I want to talk about this for just a second. They're talking about the scene where Margaret had this moment with Teresa where they put a wreath out into the ocean and it's like a tribute to her late mother, right? Well, Siggy's pretty much saying that this is staged because production paid for the wreath. That I find to be pretty comical in the sense that there are so many things that production pays for. They pay for their food when they do these filming events. They pay for, like, if they sit down at a dinner table, sometimes if they need like a special cake or something for an event, production will pay for that. For the wreath, production paid for. But does that make it any less authentic in the moment? Especially if it was Margaret's idea to begin with, which I know for a fact that Margaret, this was her idea. She was the one who reached out to production. She was the one who saw this somewhere else and thought that this would be a very special moment for her and Teresa. But more importantly, it wasn't about Margaret when she did this. It was about Teresa, and it was about honoring her late mother. This was a completely genuine and authentic moment. And did production pay for the wreath? Sure. But does that make it any less special? That's like if you get a birthday gift for somebody and I put me and all of my brothers' names on it and I give it to my mom, and my mom receives the birthday gift, thinks it's from all of us, and I'm the one who paid for it. It doesn't make it any less special as if they, had less to do with it because I paid for it. It was all of our idea. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope the analogy clicks here, but wait, hold on. Let's keep going. So, according to Siggy, Margaret did not buy the wreath for Teresa. Siggy reveals that production set the whole thing up, noting that Margaret never even met Teresa's mother. Again, I don't know what weight that has in this moment. You can still have compassion for somebody who lost someone near and dear to their heart. Production bought a wreath and had Margaret do something at the Boca Hotel and Resort. She never ever met Teresa's mom. She just met Teresa 7 days prior to filming that scene. How do you think the viewers are even going to buy into that? Are you guys that stupid? Are you guys that stupid? I don't know what's gotten into Siggy, but even speaking like that, I'm like, what? Who are you talking to? The fans? The people who are interviewing you? The viewer? Like, who? You don't ask people, are you that stupid? But wait, it keeps going. So, do you see what an edit could do? You think Margaret Josephs went to Florida and said, think that we should maybe buy Teresa a wreath. That was all production. Siggy explained that producers brought Margaret on The Real Housewives of New Jersey under the guise that they were friends, but that was not the case at all. In fact, Siggy insists that production encouraged Margaret to go after her on the show. They said to Margaret, go after Siggy. They introduced Margaret on the show as if Margaret and I were friends. Siggy Flicker would never be friends with Margaret Josephs. Not in this lifetime. She's not a girl's girl. She's not fun. She's like a girl that's just like, okay, I need the dirt. Okay. Now, the host of this podcast said that it was pretty shocking to learn that production bought the wreath for Teresa and said it was for Margaret, which is when Siggy further exposed the productions team's antics, saying, let's go further. Who do you think bought the cake? And that was referencing the birthday cake for Melissa Gorga that wound up on the floor the following night. That was also in Boca. I swear to you on my children's life, I didn't buy the cake. I called up the place that the production asked for at the Boca Hotel and Resort because I'm also a member there. Of course she is. And they said that they're going to make a cake, and production paid for the cake. And they said to me, Siggy, what about Melissa? And I said, well, she's got a beautiful store and, make it pink and envy and all of that. I gave them ideas. I didn't go and look at it. She then added that she and Dolores Catania were genuinely upset that production left them out of the beach wreath scene with Teresa because they, unlike Margaret, actually knew Teresa's mom and attended her funeral. When they asked Margaret to film that wreath scene on the beach, you and Dolores were so upset that you guys weren't there. Was that real? Were you and Dolores really that upset? She said, we were when we found out. My friends were on the beach that day and they're calling me saying, Siggy, they're doing a whole scene, a memorial for Teresa's mom. And now I didn't know the Margaret storyline was going to be faked out. And I went, wait, Dolores and I are at RHONJ and they're excluding us? We knew Teresa's mom. Yeah, we actually went to the funeral and they're excluding us from that scene. Okay, well, again, just because production pays for something doesn't make it less authentic because any of these women can afford a wreath. Any of these women can afford a cake. And also for production, it's a write-off. So it doesn't take away from the sentimental value. Are there so many moments on these shows staged? Yes, of course. But I feel like I get Siggy's message, but I feel like her delivery is just off. You know who else is catching heat right now? Gina K. Gina K seems like she's taking sides. Hold on. I just wanted to play you this video also from All About the Real Housewives posting it.
Why do you want Melissa or Teresa?
Melissa. I mean,
I actually am a very big Melissa.
I don't even
She's
know.
very sweet.
My annoyance comes from how many people
Are on
would.
Teresa's side.
Oh my! Because have you watched the show
Right.
for a decade?
Right. She's always wrong.
Well, she's never wrong. Is the thing.
Well, that's
you
a
know
problem.
what I mean?
Yeah,
She's
she
like-
thinks she's never wrong. Yeah.
I mean, so now people are slamming her, saying, oh, well, Gina is anti-Teresa. Gina didn't say anything that bad. And if you really look at the entire Bravo universe, everybody feels like they need to pick a side between Teresa and Melissa and Joe. I feel like this is no different. But guys, I don't want to just give you this and not ask your opinion. Again, go ahead and comment below. Let us know what you think. Smash the like button, show some love, and check the comment section of this video for tonight's live at 11 p.m. Eastern and also our members only. With that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you.